Hi, and welcome to KSD Student Produced News. My name is Taite.
And I'm Nicole Scroggs. Thank you for joining us.
Dads, granddads, uncles, and other male role models went to class at Sager Elementary School in Killeen for its annual Take Your Dad to School Day. The school's annual emphasis on dads at school coincided with its participation in the National Watchdogs program, which stands for Dads of Great Students, a program whose primary goal is to provide positive male role models for students and provide an extra set of eyes and ears on campus to enhance security and reduce bullying. Dad's Day saw male role models, including some volunteer soldiers, filling the school's parking lot and attending a briefing about being a watchdog in the school and spending part of the day with their children. While dads are visiting the school, volunteer leaders of the watchdogs take the opportunity to fill out a schedule of the school calendar with volunteers to serve as monitors and helping in the hallways and classrooms. Over the years, feedback from participating dads and granddads have shown participants leaving with a stronger appreciation of educators and of their own students' efforts.
With multiple high school homecomings happening this month, the KCC Floral Design class spent their time creating mums for each school. Student journalist Taite Stender has the story.
Every year my floral design classes make homecoming mums. Homecoming has been a long-standing tradition in Texas. It's been celebrated really largely for the last 100 years. It started as a small celebration with fresh flowers and now has turned into the monstrosities that you see now with young ladies wearing homecoming moms, sometimes the size of their bodies. So it is the first project that my floral design class does every year in conjunction with football season. And so it's a good way for our students to learn about tradition and to also learn how to work with silk flowers. And they get to make something that they can wear to school and be proud of. My favorite thing about homecoming and about homecoming moms is, first of all, I love football. So I like being able to see the school and the kids be supportive of their football team. But as far as the moms go, I really like the creativity that comes out. I tell the students all the time, there is no limit to what you can do with a mom. You're only limited by your creativity. So I really like to see the kids be unique and try new things and to use different color combinations and to try to make their mom stand out from other people. So the creativity aspect of it is probably my favorite part. As far as our homecoming sales go, all of our students in our classes make the mums and garters for themselves, but my practicum students also make mums and garters for sale. If you are interested in getting a mum or a garter from my program, you can contact the Career Center. My girls will also be selling these items before school, after school, and during lunch here at the Career Center.
Over the summer, a group of Killeen ISD art teachers created a stunning art piece that simultaneously tells a visual history of the Killeen area while honoring school district staff members and students. Large letters spell out the phrase, "We are KISD," which made its debut in the school's district convocation in August, welcoming the 7,000 plus employees at the front entrance of the Bell County Expo Center. This mural, which represents KSD and all that we are, was designed with each letter representing a particular aspect of KSD and its staff and student body. The artists, Michelle Newton of Ellison High School, Angela Morales of Nolanville Middle School, Ashley Watts of Maynard Middle School, and Miranda Meyer and Joshua Meyer of Smith Middle School, are listed of the upper portion of the final letter D, alongside an artist statement describing the exhibit and its meaning. Fine Arts Director Karen Herrera praised the artist for the time and creativity, stating that the portable exhibit will likely appear at events throughout the year, including the annual visual art show in the Killeen Civic and Conference Center.
For the first time in 20 years, the Killeen Independent School District is home to a state honor choir. Patterson Middle School Choir Director Gerald Nicholas and his award-winning Boys' Choir are wasting no time in learning a rigorous repertoire of music to perform at a state convention in February. The 33-member Middle School Varsity Boys Choir is one of 4 middle school choirs statewide set to perform as an honor choir at the Texas Music Educators Association Convention in San Antonio, expected to draw more than 30,000 music teachers and students. Having grown up performing in school choirs in Killeen, the Patterson director is familiar with the accomplished company he has now joined. Last April, Nicholas submitted 2 years' worth of choir performance recordings, 10 to 15 minutes worth for each year, as a tryout for the state honor. And in June, he received the good news his boys' choir had won at the state level. The The High Honor speaks to the hard work of the boys choir the past 2 years and reflects strong parent and administrative support in a fast-growing program.
Dress code and tardies are always a big problem as students start the new year. Student journalist Josiah Keating spoke with KCC AP Brad McMillan about what students can expect this school year.
IDs and dress code are important because they promote a more professional and serious academic atmosphere. You know, as far as IDs, especially at the Career Center, we're trying to focus on professionalism. That's something, when you go into the workforce, that's something that you have to do at every profession, that you have to wear some type of identification. And so we're getting kids in that right frame of mind. The staff has a professional dress standard that they would have to adhere to. But just like students, there are some violators of the teacher dress code as well. So students need to be familiar with the student code of conduct. The student code of conduct outlines the dress code and what you can and cannot wear. And it outlines all the information that you need to know in order to not violate the student code of conduct. If the student finds themselves in that situation, they can fix their own dress code. If they see that they may be out of dress code, they can go and do that. So the tier of minor violations is after you receive 4 minor violations, then you go to, the consequence for that would be a 2-hour cited detention. Each campus has their own tier system, but this is ours. So after 8 violations, you go to a 4-hour cited detention. Then when you get to 12, then you go to an additional day or 4-hour cited detention. Again, once you get up to 16, it's a day of ISS, and then 20, that's 2 days of ISS. You can get to a point where you have 24 or more minor violations that can constitute an individual having to go before a campus conduct hearing, and that's a hearing that we send someone to alternative school potentially. For the Career Center, it's not a large problem as you would see on your traditional campus, but we do have our fair share of violators of the tardy policy and the dress code.
Pluckers Clean is offering teachers a free appetizer every Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. All you need to do is show your KISD school badge and receive a free appetizer for you and a friend. Offer is limited to 1 appetizer per 2 people. For more information, visit pluckers.com.
In the U.S., 1 in 5 students ages 12 through 18 have been bullied during the school year, and approximately 160,000 teens have been skipped school because of bullying. KSD aims to stop bullying through awareness and a new reporting system and awareness campaign. Students are asked to stand up against bullying by paying attention to situations where you might see a fellow student being bullied, reaching out and connecting with peers that might feel left out, and to feel a trusted adult if you see someone getting bullied. The campaign promotes KSD's affirmation to the safety of all kids and asks that if you see bullying, to report it using the link KISDissafe.com.
Teachers are the lifeblood of our school system. Here at Inside KISD, we like to highlight and show our appreciation of our teachers in our Teacher Spotlight segment.
My name is Mr. Mencius, and I teach video game design and robotics too. Well, I enjoy robotics because we used to do that in the military. I used to be involved with robotics. It's mainly drone flying and stuff like that, so I enjoy that part of it. For video game design, that's the programmer in me. I just like making programs and new ways of telling the computer what to do, so I enjoy that part of it. The resources is, since we're using a program called Unity, I would really like for them to get more interested in that. If they perfect themselves in one platform, then they'll be able to evolve and develop into other platforms.
My name is Isaiah Vidal, and I'm a video game design student. I'd say the hardest part is coding, because it's very difficult and it's really hard. You have to like think about a lot of things and come up with problems that come out of nowhere. You just gotta go back and look and fix those problems. So we actually just got done with the project. It's called Falling Objects, and it's basically like objects come from the sky, and you're a ship that just moves left and right, and you have to shoot them with like lasers. And when you run out of lives, because the asteroids hit you and you die, and you can get lives because the asteroids drop power-ups. So.
Video game design means to me, you're pretty much at the frontier of technology, and also you're always there for the changes that come about.
So my teacher is very goofy, and he's a really good teacher. He helps me out, and he's a good teacher to all the students. He's very smart, and he helps us out.
Hey, I'm Taite Stender, and I'm a video production student here at KCC. I'm going to run you through the top 5 must-watch Halloween movies. Kicking it off with number 5 is Beetlejuice. It was filmed in 1988 and directed by Tim Burton. It's a film about 2 people dying and trying to scare people out of their house, but can't. So they get help from Beetlejuice, who's a spirit that teaches them how to scare.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Placing number 4 is Ghostbusters. This film took place in 1984 and was directed by Ivan Reitman. It's a film based on a team of scientists that loses their positions at a New York university, so they decide to become Ghostbusters, to wage a high-tech battle with the supernatural for money. They stumble upon a gateway to another dimension, a doorway that will release evil upon the city. Placing number 3 is Hocus Pocus. This film took place in 1993 and was directed by Kenny Ortega. In this film, a boy who recently moved to Salem explores an abandoned house with his sister and their new friend. After their friend tells him a superstitious story, the boy accidentally frees a coven of evil witches who used to live in the house. Now, with the help of a magical cat, the kids must steal the witch's book of spells to stop them from being immortal.
We're talking about 3 ancient hags versus the 20th century. How bad can it be?
Coming in at number 2 is Casper. This was filmed in 1995 and directed by Brad Silberling. In this film, Casper is a young ghost who haunts a mansion in Maine, when specialist James Harvey moved in to talk to Casper and his fellow spirits. He brought along his daughter. Casper quickly falls in love with his daughter, Kat, but the relationship is complicated, not only by his transparent state, but also by his troublemaking uncles. Finally, my favorite at number 1 is Halloween Town. Filmed in 1998 and directed by Dwayne Dunham. Halloween Town is a movie about a woman and her 3 kids following their grandmother to Halloween Town and finding out they come from a family of witches. The town is the only place where the supernatural beings can live a normal life. Trouble presents itself on the daughter's 13th birthday, when not only does she find out she's a witch, but also her family is involved with a fight against the evil that is threatening to take over the world. I'm Taite Stender, video production student here at the Career Center, and those are my top 5 Halloween movie picks.
Our vision is to empower students to be knowledgeable, confident in their skills, prepared, and competitive as they transition into post-secondary education and career opportunities as productive members of society. The KISD Career Center. Dream big. Work hard.
The Killeen Independent School District dedicated its newest school named for a woman who turned hardships in her young life to generous blessings that have enriched countless lives. Norwood Elementary School in Southeast Killeen opens its doors for the first time as more than 45,000 students return to class for the start of the 2019-2020 school year. In an official dedication ceremony, Superintendent John Kraft called the event a momentous one and pointed out physical distinctions of the new facility, constructed less than 60 weeks at an under budget of $29 million. The school building includes shade structures on the playground and perimeter fencing and flexible seating to better engage young learners who pay attention better when they move. According to the local history, the school's namesake benefited from a caring community and generously extended that care to others. Maude, born in 1894, grew up in Killeen. When she was orphaned at a young age, the child's grandmother arranged for Julius and Lena Alexander, a childless couple in town, to raise her. Eventually, in her 40s, she married Dr. D.L. Wood, a well-known physician in town who also owned Wood's Drugstore. The doctor died in 1943, just 3 years after marrying Maude Moore. He was such a fixture in the community that schools closed the day of his funeral. Maude Moore inherited the estate of the Alexanders, and upon her death in 1978 at an age of 84, left an endowment of $209,529. According to school district records, given the local history, KISD Boards of Trustees President Corbett Lawler said Maude Moore would specifically left the endowment to benefit underprivileged children. Since 1978, KISD has awarded scholarships from the fund.
In an annual salute to the Hispanic culture, Pershing Park Elementary School welcomed hundreds of families into the school cafeteria for an evening of song, dance, and traditional foods. Students created artwork representing numerous Spanish-speaking countries. The school also chose to decorate their halls to include famous Americans of Hispanic backgrounds. Families brought numerous items of traditional food to share with guests, while focus was on the stage and several local dance groups featuring KISD students. Sisters Alyssa and Desiree Gomez, a Killeen High School sophomore and Nolan Middle School 8th grader, sang together and introduced their multicultural dance group, Mecca. The group performed several traditional Hispanic dances on stage dressed in the cultural outfits reflecting the time period and culture of the performance. "It's a little nerve-wracking," Alyssa Gomez said, getting in front of so many people and dancing, but it was amazing. Groups Los Tres Martinez, the Puerto Rican kids, all performed and volunteered their skills for the Heritage Festival. In the United States, National Hispanic Heritage Month is September 15th to October 15th and celebrates all things Hispanic.
The event of 9/11 were tragic and will always stay with us as a nation. KISD held its annual Freedom Walk at Killeen High School to commemorate the day. Nicole Scroggs has more.
For the 14th year, representatives from police and fire departments across Bell County joined Fort Hood soldiers, veterans, Gold Star family members, and Killeen ISD leaders at Killeen High School and Leo Buckley Stadium to walk in unity and remembrance of the events of September 11th, 2001. During a formal ceremony, honored guest and Ellison High School graduate state representative Brad Buckley reflected on the events that day. Following the formal ceremony in the KHS auditorium, a police color guard, Ellison High School drumline, and representatives of KISD's 4 high schools led the way to Buckley Stadium for a walk around the track. First, students and community members would have the chance to shake hands and thank emergency personnel for their service to the community. Ending the ceremony and following 11 bell tolls, Gold Star family member soldier escorts dispersed plumes of purple and gold smoke in memory of those lost that day. For Inside KISD Student News, I'm Nicole Scroggs.
Welcome to Inside KSC Sports Center. Every month we will bring you the highlights of some of our big matchups across the district. I'm your host, Devin Brown.
And I'm Josiah Keating. On today's segment, we'll see Harker Heights opening their 2019 home schedule as they hosted the Stony Point Tigers in a shootout at Leo Buckley Stadium, and we'll get a look at Killeen opening the 2019 season against those same Stony Point Tigers.
Ellison opened up the 2019 season with back-to-back games against ranked opponents, and despite a 0-2 start, they proved they can hang with some of the state's top teams in the home opener against Austin Vandergrift. Ellison defense been top D in the district. They used a stout defensive line to get pressure on the quarterback. Breezy Spiller picked up where he left off last year using his speed and his arm to lead the offense. Spiller found his favorite target, Stacy Brown, through the game against the Vipers. The Vandergrift defense never let Spiller get comfortable, forcing him out the pocket again and again. The University of Tulsa commit Everett Rogers has been huge for the Eagles throughout the season, was able to get pressure on the Vipers quarterback throughout the game. The rest of the Eagles defense came ready to play as well, with the big hit creating a turnover and giving the Ellison offensive ball. Spiller may be known for his 4.3 40 speed, but the lefty showed that given time to throw the ball, he can sweep the ball into tight windows. With a talented set of receivers, Spiller has found a groove with Stacy Brown going him time to time again, relying on Brown to make tough catches.
Harker Heights offense had a bit of trouble finding open running lanes early in the game. Despite the early troubles, Heights' defensive line came in keeping those Tigers in check. Heights quarterback Terrence Carter made moves releasing the ball and some great receiver passes. Carter also made quick moves on his feet, keeping Stony Point on their heels. Running back Andre Gebhardt, along with the rest of the offensive line, took off, allowing points to be traded back and forth between teams. Despite the offensive success, the Tigers overthrew the Knights and took home a W.
Shoemaker is looking to make a playoff run for the first time under head coach Toby Foreman opened up their 2019 season against San Angelo Central. Although the offense proved to be explosive, it was the defense that got things started with the interception from Amir Baptiste to set up an offense that would rack up 8 touchdowns on the night. Quarterback Ty Bell got the offense going with a nice throw under pressure, finding Vontez Martin, open on the left side to set up a 1st and goal. Martin was able to use his height to make the catch over the defender. Later, Bell showed off his wheels, blowing through the defense for a big gain, setting up another 1st and goal for the Grey Wolves. Bell went back to the air near the goal line and made a nice touch pass to Trent Hudson for a touchdown. Bell would show that he was just getting started, finding Kajari Hare, that we call Junko, open up from the left side for another touchdown. Ty Bell continued scoring, finding DeAndre Exford for a screen pass on the right flat, which Exford took the distance to widen the Shoemaker lead. Devin Brown then took the workload off of Ty Bell's shoulders and legs by busting through the middle for a touchdown, completing with a diving finish into the end zone, extending the lead once again. Bell went right back to work, however, finding Trent Hudson in the end zone for another touchdown. Once again, putting great touch on the pass to get the ball over the defender's hands. Shoemaker's dominance over the Bobcats continued as Bell was able to find Deshaun McCubbins open. McCubbins used his speed and strength to bust through the defense on the way to yet another touchdown for the Grey Wolves. Shoemaker showed that they were prepared in all 3 phases of the game, which is great defense, great offense, and big plays from special teams. Monty Baldwin, not wanting to be left out of the scoring spree, took a kickoff return 65 yards untouched for the score. Shoemaker's big night continued even once the backups were in the game, as quarterback Amari Evans busted loose for a huge gain, setting up another 1st and goal for Shoe. The defense capped off the night with yet another turnover as Darmel Hollins picked off a deep pass on the goal line and returned it past the 30-yard line to close out the night. Shoemaker opened up the season with a 54-21 win over the visiting San Angelo Central Bobcats to open up the 2019 season with the win and putting the rest of the district on notice that the Grey Wolves are ready to fight for a playoff spot.
Killeen made a good run down the middle and managed to gain a few yards. The defensive line was able to break through, leaving nowhere for the quarterback to run. A nice run was made, but unable to make a touchdown. Stony Point threw an interception, which led to Killeen making a surprise touchdown. Beautiful fumble recovery by Killeen. Killeen running back Marshall carries the ball back a couple of yards before being taken down on the line. Quarterback Terry makes a smooth pass, which led to another Kangaroo touchdown. Stony Point once again throws an interception that moves Killeen closer to the end zone. Stony Point manages to break through the Killeen offensive line and take down Marshall. Stony Point made a good run before stumbling over the teammate, which led to takedown by Killeen. Killeen's offensive line was overtaken by Stony Point's defense, which caused for the quarterback to be taken down. Smooth pass by Killeen allowed them to gain a few yards. Killeen running back Marshall took an open lane and showed Stony Point what he could really do with his feet, making a few good yards.
And not to look at this month's sports highlights. For Josiah Keening, I'm Devin Brown in the Sports Hub, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you for watching Inside KSD, a student-produced news program. For Nicole, Scroggs, and all of us here at the Career Center, I'm Taite Stender. We'll see you next month on Inside KSD.